The family school started in 2012, so as you heard from Dana, we've been at this for 5 years now.
Game on. That makes sense.
And
Yeah.
we have what we see 2 trains that have moved along and that we've been working with, and one of the trains has been producing a lot of good results, the curriculum development train. And this other train down here, it's been moving, but it hasn't been producing. And it's the product development train. The difference between these two and why that's significant is that if we don't start focusing on more time and resources and attention and money in this area, then unfortunately, what has been happening will continue to happen. And to be really honest with you, it's not good enough. 50% of the families that come to the family school fail at using the family school. Now, we won't take credit for all of that because homeschooling is tough, right? And for some families, it just doesn't work out. But we've been spending a lot of time writing great content and really good curriculum. And it is really good curriculum. But we need to make sure that the curriculum is available to you in a way that's efficient to use, effective for your families, that's flexible, that's customizable. And we have a lot of ideas for how to develop the product at this point. Unfortunately, we don't have enough money to move both trains at the same time. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do here and what we're going to do here with curriculum development. So don't be scared, we are going to continue writing curriculum, but we're not going to write curriculum the same way we've been writing it. Now, to illustrate why this is so important, I love this slide. Somebody showed this. James Stoddard showed this to me this week. And I thought, this is exactly what's going to happen if we don't start working on this part of the train. Marketing. You see this? It's not a great image up here. Because making it look good now is more important than providing adequate support later. That's a joke. We don't want to do that. But in some regards, that's what we're doing if we don't start working on the product, really making it more effective for you. We're going to do that in 3 ways. We're going to focus on content, really how you interact with the content, and how we develop the content. Communities, building local communities and online communities, providing you with ways to interact with each other and to help each other and support each other. And last, cause. Making this more than just curriculum. So when you come to Latter-day Learning and you see the family school, you start using it in your homes, you connect with the greater cause. The cause of teaching your children is a really, really important one. We feel that cause. And we recognize how important that is to you. It's important to us as well. But it needs to be more than, we need to be more than just a curriculum provider to do what we feel we really need to be doing. So developing new content. Up to this point, you've seen us developing 1 year after the next. And when you go to the family school, you click on a year, right? Year 1, year 2, 3, 4, or 5. We have content in there. And then once you click on year 1, you go into and you see a number of subjects where we provide content. We've been developing content like this. And we're at the end of year 5 now. We started in 2012. It's almost the end of 2017. We've done what we set out to do. And we've stayed on track. And we've developed each of these years, the first 5 years. The 6th year, we were planning on starting now, but we've decided to reorganize the way that we develop curriculum. And it's going to look a little bit like this. Not a little bit, it's going to look like this. When you go to the family school in the near future, you're going to see a list of subjects that we provide content for. Within those subjects, you're going to see all the units that we've developed so far. And then you'll also see what units are coming and probably a date when we expect to have those available. Why is this significant? It's significant because, 1, we never stop writing curriculum. Where before we thought, after we're done with year 6, then we're done. We all have a big party. Cheryl screams for joy. The authors, who are amazing, say, I'm going on a mission. And they can still go on, they're going to go on missions. But how many literature books could we write content for? It's a good example. Well, we have these, And when Karen finishes next year, we'll have all these wonderful books, have great lesson plans that go along with these great, great books. But there are hundreds of other books that we could write lessons for. And this gives us the ability to do it. The other reason it's significant is because in the very near future, when you go to the family school, you're not going to pick a year, you're going to pick units. You're going to sit down with your children, you're going to say, kids, what are you excited to learn this year? And they're going to look and say, wow, I really want to read The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Great. So we studied ancient world history. What are we on next? Well, I really want to do United States history. Well, great. We'll go here to the American Revolution, other revolution, United States Constitution, and you can pick what you want. Nancy shared some ideas. Nancy Willis shared some ideas this morning. And those ideas were spot on. That is what we need you to understand. And that's what we need to be able to provide you, the ability to make family school your curriculum. Instead of looking at the family school like a rule, you need to look at it like a resource. That's all that it never was intended to be, a resource for you. It never was meant to be, here's your year, now go do it, and if you get halfway, which on average you get halfway. And it was never intended to make you feel like you failed, and yet it does that. And so by presenting it in units and asking you to pick which units are important to you, and you build your own year, then it becomes your school year. You know what you can do, you know how much time you have, you know what your children need, and you can create your own calendar, and in that sense, you can be successful. So if you need to have a shorter school year, great. If you need more snow days, fine. If you want to take 2 days for every lesson, that's fine too. So the unit approach versus the year approach. Next, we have to improve the way that you connect with content. Right now, we serve it up to you, and there's words on the page, and the resources are wonderful, and you have all these videos and all these images, but you can't do anything with it except for teach it. And you could go through, and if you have the printed manual, you could go through and cross some things off in your mind, right? You really don't have access to our curriculum in a way that will really make it work for your family. So we're developing what we're calling the Make It Your Own tool set. In the very near future, again, you will have access to another tab at the top of the page that says My Lesson. My Lesson will really be your lesson. It'll be our content open. You can edit it, you can take something away, you can add to it, you can annotate that. If you want to highlight certain parts, call attention to it. You can add call-outs or reminders to yourself, some notes. You can even, at some point, record it, speak it, so that you can have your children listen to you and maybe learn on their own and come back and discuss the material. So you can record, you can audio record, then save it and share it. And this is probably the biggest one, you can print it. I think that's the most common question we get. Where do I print this lesson? Why can't I personally print this lesson? And there's a reason why you can't. I'm not going to get into it right now, but when you make it your own, and you change it, it becomes yours, and you'll be able to print that version of the lesson plan. Okay, so connecting with content, interacting with content. Let's see here. Okay, connecting with each other. This is a big deal. Support communities. The new version of our website will have 2 new features. Each unit will have its own online forum. So if you're teaching a unit, then you can join the forum that goes with that unit. So all the families that are teaching that unit can share ideas back and forth while you're teaching that unit. If you finish teaching the unit, you can jump out of the forum, join another unit, join another forum. And so forums will be specific to units. The second thing, at the bottom of each lesson plan, there'll be a little box called the Parent Tips and Tools box. This is going to be fun as well. How often do we get emails from you about, or we see your post on Facebook where you say, hey, we just watched this video, it went really nice with this lesson, and where does that go? Now, to a few of you might see that post, but what are the chances that you're actually teaching that lesson? Very, very slim. Over 1,000 lessons, it's very slim. So at the bottom of each lesson, you're going to now be able to insert your ideas and even upload your resources and documents. I got this picture the other day from Heather Robinson. Where is she? Heather, right back here. Isn't this an awesome picture? Don't feel bad, anyone who has a blackboard wall and these beautiful cubbies here, and these perfect children all lined up. Perfect art. She went on Valentine's and thought, I want a lesson that connects the heart, the spirit of the heart, with the physical heart. I wonder what the family school, and she searched heart on the search bar, and she found this idea, and she did it. Here we have the academic concept and the gospel principle. What a great idea. And that's it, really. That's as far as it goes. Great idea. But what if she could upload this picture and you could see that? What if she could upload a document that she created? Because many of you do that too. What if she uploaded a link to a video that really, really, really applied to that lesson in a powerful way? Well, all of those will be available in that little box at the bottom. You can turn it on and off. If you don't want to see it, you don't have to. But you can have access to everybody else's thinking. These authors, as wonderful as they are, and they're amazing, they can't think of all of the ideas. They're not teaching these lessons 100 times over. You are. And so your ideas are going to be a very powerful way to connect with each other and to interact with the curriculum and give you more ideas. Okay. Local support and connection. The second most common question we receive is, who lives here? Who lives by me? And you ask on Facebook, and again, you might get a response of somebody, but we're creating a new member map. And this member map will allow you to zero in on certain zip codes. None of your personal information will be shared, but you will be one of those dots. And if someone wants to connect with you, they can click on that dot, and they can email you. They won't have your email, but it can encrypt an email and send it to you, and they can say, hey, it looks like you're in my area. I'd love to connect with you if you're interested in connecting. So the mentor map is going to be a powerful way for you to find out who lives in your area that is also teaching the family school, and to network and form little co-ops and support groups, get together for play groups and teaching. And in each of those highly concentrated areas, it looks like it's all highly concentrated when you look at this map. To really see a closer version of the U.S. map, you can see that there are pockets that are really where there are a lot of families using the family school. And in those areas, we're going to ask some of you to participate in the Mentor Mom program, where you'll get the family school for free, and you'll be kind of a local support in that area. That's coming pretty soon too. Alrighty. Needs-based scholarships. This is something that I'm really excited about. The family school is a great resource for you, but it doesn't serve people who can't even afford the $20 or $22 or $30 a month that it costs. And we feel that there are thousands of families around the world who need the family school and who need it freely. And our idea is to create a program that connects every paying member of the family school with a family who can't afford it. So to create a really nice automatic scholarship program that connects needs-based families with families who are paying for it. And when I say connect, I don't just mean you know that when you sign up, somebody else gets access to the family school. I mean that you're connected with those people. They get to become a member when you become a member. And you get to stay in touch with them. And you can connect however you want to. But I think there's something powerful in that. I want to show a short clip, and then we'll move on for the night. This is one of the groups that we recently started helping. I came in contact with this organization and what they're doing in this little slum of Soweto in Nairobi. And they have 120 students there that this one man is providing an education for. He used to provide one meal a day, and he did it off of wood carving business, he and a few others. And as of this last week, they've started using the family school in their little school. This video is going to show you how that school looks. you may recognize this music if you hear it. Jay. your family with these kinds of families. And I think that in so doing, that the family school takes on a whole other purpose to strengthen the cause. You should know, and I was surprised to find out in my presentation, that only 50% of the families that were in my two classes this afternoon knew that Latter-day Learning was a worldwide outreach of American Heritage School and a nonprofit. That's our focus. This is not a for-profit venture, and it does take money to do these things. It takes a tremendous amount of money to build this kind of curriculum and this kind of a distribution site to be able to access it. And so as you think about what we want to do, and think about how we want to change the way you interact with content, change the way you interact with each other, and strengthen the cause of the family school, we want you to know that we need your help too. We need your help desperately. And that the mission that the school is supporting is an important mission. That mission, the school exists to serve parents and assist in developing the hearts, minds, and bodies of children. And And so in a couple months, you're going to get an email about our annual fund and this opportunity to give and to help us take the family school to the next level. And please help. But don't just think about what you can do. Think about who we should be talking with. And if you know someone who's passionate about the same cause, please let us know. And we want to be talking with them as well. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next year, hopefully.